I realize that you may have your one theme song and it's really strong and it's really potent and it's really exciting and you worked on it for a really, really long time. But how many actual variations are you creating? How many ways are you sharing your one main theme? For those of you who I have not yet met in person, my name is Amber Griffiths. I'm a brand strategist and a maker of legends. And so it's Thursday, it's that time. Grab your legend pack, crank that speaker to 11. Welcome to Legend. I want to talk to you today about your theme song. And not, we have several different ways to have a theme song, right? Sometimes your theme song is the one that gets you up and dancing, like the one where you can't hold still because it just moves you that much. And honestly, friends, for me, that's more of an anthem. That's the one that really drives you and moves you. That's more of an anthem. I want to talk to you about your theme. Your brand is really what this looks like. I am an 80s girl and I am really a fan of Star Wars. But because I am an 80s girl fan of Star Wars, when I say Star Wars, I mean the three. I mean the original trilogy, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher. That's my Star Wars, right? I really, really enjoyed, especially because music is in my background, I always enjoyed picking out that that Star Wars theme that John Williams created so masterfully. And then Carrie Fisher would come on, and this is the Princess Leia theme, and then this is the fight theme, and but instances had this undertone of the main Star Wars theme song. Well, then they got a little polluted with the sequels and the prequels, and I don't want to get into all that fight. Not a fan. However, at least compared to the first three, But then I've been enjoying the Marvel universe like a lot. Like all the shows, I have the video games, the Lego Marvel Universe games. Currently on my card table is a puzzle of all the Funko Pop heads of all the Marvel characters. It's amazing. I will totally post a picture when it's done. Alan Silvestri is putting John Williams to shame. And I never thought that could happen because John Williams is so incredible. But here's the thing. Alan Silvestri has created this theme that goes through not just the Iron Man series, not just the Captain America series, but universe. In fact, if you listen really carefully, in addition to all other great songs of Captain Marvel movie, there is the underlying tone of the Marvel Universe theme. But it gets bigger than that, right? Because it's not just Iron Man and his people and Captain America and his people. Now, all of a sudden, they've introduced, not all of a sudden, but after they got that established, they introduced, ooh, here's the Guardians of the Galaxy. Pardon me. Here's the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're completely different characters, completely different good guy, bad guy, all those things. And yet, here's this theme of the Marvel Universe all the way through it in music. It's brilliant. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that in your business? If you have this really great brand and this really great theme, you get to expand, obviously. But why? Why does it matter that the theme goes all the way along? It goes beyond, my friends, it goes beyond you want it to all sound like you. It goes beyond you want it to look like you and be recognized as you, although those are super important things. It makes you limitless. If you put out there in the world, think about this for a minute. If you put out in the world, I am a coach for this. I am a deliverer of this product, this server, this service, this good, right? Without being able to expand and introduce new product lines, new ways to deliver your goods and services, you're incredibly limited. I'm a coach, I do one-on-one coaching. Boom, that's it. But what if you want to do group? How much can you scale and leverage your time if you're doing only, right? At some point, you can't add enough clients to get to your $1 million. So you get to start leveraging that. And part of that is group. Part of that might be courses and micro courses and mini courses and all those other things. That's expanding. And if you're not able to expand your brand, to keep it all tied in together, and yet still introduce a completely different way to serve your clients and to deliver your coaching, you're limited. You get stuck with this one thing. But wait, there's more. What if in the middle of all your coaching you think, oh, you know what, I really want to write a book. Like I've got enough in here. I need to get this out. In fact, it's probably not one book, it's probably a series of three because great things come in threes, right? So how do you add a book line if all you do is coach people? You have to be able to expand your theme to encompass book writing, to encompass speaking, to encompass an anthology and perhaps a collection of people that you get to work with. What if you decide to add retreats to it? If you are not able to expand your theme, if you grow your brand so that it all still looks like you, of course, it has to look like you, it has to feel like you. It has to, this is the really key part, it gets to deliver the same amazing experience that you've always promised your people, that they have come to expect, that they have come to demand from you. Now, if you go back to the Star Wars, set is that those of us in the 80s who saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater for the original release, those are people, hey, Amy, welcome. Nice to see you here. For those of us who had a certain experience promised to us, the prequels and the sequels are really disappointing. There's a lot of anger. There's been a lot of hostility and like disappointment to the extreme because the experience we were expecting, the experience we had been promised, we had come to expect and demand, fell short. Now, if all of a sudden the Marvel Universe came out with a total dud, I'd be like, what did you do? What is the thing? Because I have come to expect a certain level of excellence. I have come to expect a certain theme in the experience that they're giving me. It's upbeat. There's a good guy, there's a bad guy, there's lots of supporting characters. There's really great plucky comic relief that doesn't feel forced. There's a certain way that the Marvel Universe interacts with me as a fan that I have come to expect, that I have come to demand, and it's how I share them. I don't say you need to go see this movie because it's a great show. I say, wait till you get to the soundtrack. It's going to be fabulous. Wait till you see the plucky comic relief. The best friend is so cool. The little animal is so funny. Like when I share this, I don't share the name of it. I share the experience I had. And if it's a broken experience, if it's what I've come to expect, what has been promised before is not delivered, I can't continue to share that same experience. So you have to be able, oh, WandaVision. Amy, I didn't even think about WandaVision. WandaVision is actually pretty great. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but for those of us who, again, grew up with Bewitched and the Donna Reed show, it's got Nick at Night, and all the way through that, it makes me it has those member berries are coming through, right? It tugs on my little heartstrings. But everything they deliver and create delivers that same experience, and it allows them to say, well, that's great. Here's the movies. We're going to introduce completely new storyline and but here's our theme going all the way through, and it completely connects it. You can still hear it. It still has, like, listen to any great battle of any of those movies, and that's where the theme is the strongest. Any great, all like at the very end, like what, and the orchestra swells. It swells in the same way in every single movie. It has a theme all the way through it, and it allows them to expand, to add new players, to add new storylines just like your brand gets to do if you are able to expand it. It's why it's so hard. Hey, Nancy, it's why it's so hard to keep your brand limited to one thing, to one vehicle, to one demographic, because really your ideal clients are so much more than that. It goes beyond demographics, beyond psychographics and into legend graphics. Your story is so much more than one story. You should be able to tell your story in 10 different styles, 10 different outcomes, 10 different takeaways, and it's the same story. Can you do that? Like, that's branding. That's what you get to do with your brand. That's how expansive it gets to be. One story gets to apply to 12 different things. Can it? Are you using it that way? Or have you put on a blinder saying, this works, or I think this should work, or I hope this should work? It's just another way that you are so much more than the vehicle you're currently using to deliver your message. You have so much more, and you are so much more to the people you are uniquely qualified to serve You are so much more than the vehicle you're currently using. Not because it's not a great vehicle, it could be wonderful. But what if you had like six more, slightly different, attuned to a different psychographic, a different legend graphic that, that explored how expansive your business and your brand and your persona really are? My friends, you are so much more than one note. You are so much more than one note. I was raised in a very musical world. I remember singing piano side with my father since I was a kid. And every time another family member would stop in and sing, it would add another level of harmony, another complex level of emotion, of depth. So by the time we had added 10 of us, it was a whole orchestra. And it was something really, there were so many different levels and so many little things you get to hear different ways. Is your brand delivering that? Still with a theme song, still the same really powerful brand, but it's just more expansive and it gets to deliver on so many multiple levels. Is your persona doing that? Are you loudly proclaiming, this is who I am, and this is what I stand for, and this is what I believe in? This is the change I'm creating in the world. And oh, by the way, here's the thousands of ways that I can do it. Because really, that's what makes your brand the most powerful. It delivers that message and it delivers it to the people. And then you can figure out the most spectacular, exquisitely beautiful way you get to serve each one of your clients. Don't limit yourself to one note. Don't limit yourself to a single trilogy and allow the rest to flub. You have an entire orchestra at your fingertips. Create your theme song, your core brand in a way that it gets to be expansive, in a way that it gets delivered in ways you haven't even dreamt yet of. Not yet. Tomorrow's a whole new day, whole new possibilities. So until I see you on that road to legend with an expansive, solid brand and theme song, rock on.